We delay the music of the Cleveland Symphony Orchestra to bring you a special report by the Secretary of the Navy, James Forrestal, speaking from Guam. This report was transcribed within the hour via special military facilities.
Up the precipitous side of a 600-foot extinct volcano, so precipitous that it seemed almost vertical, went a platoon of American Marines. Even through a glass, they seemed tiny figures scrambling skyward against a background of blue. And then a few minutes later, from the thousands of throats upon ships and on land and sea, came the sudden cry, "There goes the flag." That was how the Stars and Stripes went up on the first island of Japan's outer rim of island defenses. It was at 11 o'clock, Friday, February 23rd. We saw that flag going up halfway on the journey to shore with Lieutenant General Holland Smith of the United States Marines. It was the high point in a week of hard fighting, fighting which continues and will continue for some days to come. The Japs don't want to lose Iwo Jima. It's the first step in a sequence of doom for their homeland. They have put into it every kind of defense, and they have had years to plan that defense. As you know by now, Iwo Jima is a tiny island, 5 miles by 2.5, coming to a tapering point at its southern end. Its terrain, unlike that of some other atolls we have taken, rises some distance from the sea. Mount Suribachi, where our flag went up on Thursday, being its highest point. Its beaches are soft volcanic ash, so loose and crumbling that one Marine said it was like trying to dig a foxhole in a bag of wheat. The Japs took full and skillful advantage of that terrain and of the fact that there could be no tactical surprise as to where an enemy would land. We had to land on the beaches we did land on, and it had to be a frontal assault. They had planted mortars, rocket gun emplacements, and artillery all over that grim and barren island, so that there were streams of converging fire at the beachhead over which the Marines had to come scrambling in from the sea. The Japs, as they had done at Tarawa and at Kwajalein and at Saipan and Guam, had deep burrows under the shelving ridges of Mount Suribachi and caves along the rising shoreline to the north. Some of these caves had connecting galleries, and they will be digging dead Japs and some live Japs even out of them probably for many weeks to come. But in spite of all the skill of the Japanese defense, the Marines went ashore, and they have exacted since a 4-to-1 toll in death from our enemies. America is on the march in the Pacific, a march back to civilization, order, and decency. You can see it in islands like Guam and Saipan. The way back is being cleared by fighting men from every state in our Union. Blue Jackets, Marines, soldiers, and airmen. You can be confident of them, of the naval airmen who have done a tremendous job in this Iwo Jima operation, of the Marines, of the Army Air Forces, and you can be confident of their leaders, of men like Fleet Admiral Nimitz, Vice Admiral Turner, Lieutenant General Harmon, Lieutenant General Holland Smith, Major General LeMay of the 21st Bomber Command, and finally of that glorious aggregation of fighting men, the 5th Amphibious Corps of the Marines, which under Lieutenant General Harry Schmidt's direction is leading the fighting at Iwo Jima. It is a great team, and Americans can be proud of it, and of the country that produced them.
We return you to the United States.